Hey everyone, Grady here with Carrot. Feel kind of fancy in this big library right here. I'm visiting some family right now, but yeah, super excited to hop on here. If you're watching this, you have most likely just launched our Aspen theme, and one of the big things we want to do with this new theme launch was really showcase both the new theme and the visual editor and how you can use it to really spruce up your pages and bring out the best of your content and really make it pop and just look very attractive for people visiting your site. So if you can see on my screen, this was kind of the initial idea of what we wanted people's pages to have this feel on this Aspen theme. But you'll notice it's quite a bit different from the traditional layout that comes with the Carrot site. It's got a lot more formatting going on here. The sidebar's gone. Just some really cool layout options that we've done. But this does take some work, and we really want to show you how to use the new editor to accomplish these types of things. So this was kind of on the right side here is kind of the general idea of what we want the end result to look like for our members using Aspen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one up on the right, and then I'm going to go through here on the left and just show you how you can build this with the new editor. So yeah, I'm just going to start popping away here. So this first area up here is the hero section. And so I'm going to start with a brand new page, Aspen Mockup Take 2. I did a test run a little bit earlier, so this is my take 2 here. Yeah, so this top section, you're going to add a hero block. Each page gets one hero, so once you use the hero block, you are kind of used up for that page. But let me just get started here, and we are going to build out a page for your new site on Aspen. Okay, so this first block here is a heading block. And as you see, I typed in the heading. I'm going to actually make this a heading 2. All right, so we got the heading there. The next block here is a paragraph. And one thing I want to show you here about this paragraph is you can see over on the right how it's all capital letters. One thing from a usability and accessibility standpoint, Google does not want you to write everything in all caps. So you want to go ahead and write it like you would a normal sentence. Okay, so one of the cool things here is once you've done that, you can go highlight the text, and there's some more options on this little drop down here. So this one's going to be in uppercase. That way Google can read it properly. Accessibility machines can read it properly without all the capitals, and it's just a more user-friendly way to create all cap paragraphs. Okay, so to add the next paragraph, I'm just going to hit return. I'm going to start typing. You'll get a fair offer. You choose the closing date. We pay all costs. All right, so this is my left side of the hero section. Then when you click on the form and the form block is highlighted, you'll see the block options over here. And the call to action, I'm going to select the what do you have to lose form here. And there is one thing I forgot to do getting started here, and this is very helpful on any pages with the new editor, is if you go to the document settings, you'll see the hidden areas thing here. And one thing I want to do is you'll notice on this layout here, there's no sidebar. So one thing I want to have hidden is the sidebar. And you'll notice when you do that, you'll actually see the width of what you're working on expand. So that's one little tip as you're working on these new pages. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and update this, and I'm just going to gradually preview it as we go here. All right, so it does look like they left it as a heading 1 on here. So I'm just going to go back and switch that back to a heading 1. If it is going to let me. Yep, there we go. Okay, so hero section is done. Let's go down to this little testimonial call-out box here. So one thing you'll find with the new editor is there's a very powerful block called, so I'm going to click the add block here. It's called the group block. And the background on here, I'm going to make it black like they did over there. And one of the cool settings here is you can change the alignment. And one thing you want to do, we like the full width. You don't have to use the full width on all these, but I like it. I think it makes it look clean and powerful. So first thing I want to add here is this is a heading block, what people are saying. So I'm just going to add a quick heading. What people are saying. Okay, so we got that one. So I'm going to add another block here. You can't really see it right here, but when you hit return, it brings you out a new space, and there's a little plus button here where you can add another block. So this area here is set up as, this is probably the most unique little setup here. We went ahead and set it up as a cards block, and it's a 2-column cards block. And what we did here was we went to the card block, we made the background color white, and then we added when the card block comes out, there's a title, there's like a heading block at the top. So you got to remove that. And what you do is you click add here, and we're going to use what's called the testimonial block. And so if you've created testimonials over here in your content area, you will see right here, you can select whichever testimonials you have already created. If you haven't created a testimonial yet, you're going to get a little pop-up that says, oops, you don't have a testimonial, go create one now. And so I'm going to select, if you don't select one by default, it's going to have it be random. So it's going to, each time it loads, a new testimonial is going to show up. But I'd prefer to go ahead and decide which ones are going to go where. So once you choose one, you can click view here and you can see it. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this block. We don't need that anymore. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to remove that background color. I'm going to remove this heading. I'm going to add the other testimonial I have. And I'm going to make sure it is always this second one here. I'm going to view that. And again, get rid of that block. Okay, so we have essentially what this looks like, but let's go ahead and update and preview it and just make sure everything looks clean. Okay, so it looks like they put in one additional space here between what people are saying and the blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There is what is called a spacer block. So by default it's set at 100. Let's just go for 50 and see how that looks. Go ahead and update that. And then when we click preview now, oh yeah, got a little space there. Perfect. Okay, looks like they actually added another one at the bottom. So I'll add another spacer down here at the bottom, and I'll start working on this blue area. So I'm going to add another spacer. Move that down. Change it to 50. Boom. Okay. So again, this blue area down here is another group block. So I'm going to start here. Click group. This one, they did a blue, and this blue is set up in their site color settings on the design tab over here. So you'll click site colors. We're going to go wide full screen again. All right, so now you can see again we've got 2 columns here. So we're going to start with that. Columns, looks like it's an even split, so I'm just going to start off with this even split here. And again, we've got a heading. So listing versus selling to us. Perfect. Looks like what they did though is they changed the color on that to white. Then they added a paragraph block. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. This will be easier. So let's just, which route is quicker, puts more cache. Again, they changed that to white. Oops, that's the background color. I don't want that. Actually, I don't want any background color. Text color is white. Then they added, I'm going to press return again and click the add button. They added a button. So let's see, they put C, the difference here. So that's probably going to our compare page. So we have a page that compares the agents and working with a real estate investor and the differences and the benefits of working with an agent or with a real estate investor. If you're an agent, we have the exact opposite. So that takes us to the See the Difference page. Let's see here. It does look like they've got this lining up in the middle, so it's even with that. So there's a cool setting here. If you go to the column block, you can change vertical alignment to vertically aligned to the middle. Let's go ahead and update and preview this. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, so again, it looks like they put some spacing at the top. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Add a spacer. So I'm going to do that spacer and put 50 again. And then here's a cool thing. See these little 6 dots here? You can click it, and then you can drag it to where you want it to go. So I want it to go right there. So now when I update this and preview it, you can see, cool, we've got pretty even spacing there. Looks like they did make the button white here, so we can do that real quick. Button, go to button settings, background color white. So we want the text color to be black. Cool. Okay, so that little area is done. All right, and this next one looks fun. Again, our favorite block here, the group block. This background, this gray color here, I'm going to set that to full width. And we are going to start with, this is what is called, it's just another unique block we have. It's called a pull quote. And so there's a few options here, but this is the default setting. I need to sell my house fast in Roseburg. And this just pulls off, again, one of your site design colors. You can choose one of the variants down here as well as the background. But if you don't put the citation here, it won't show up on the live site like you can see here. But there's a couple options in the styles. You can do a solid color all the way across, or you can just do default. We'll just go as far as you want it. Okay, so we've got that top part. And it looks like what they have next is, looks like they've got, okay, this is a cool one. So they've got one column here, then they've got a second column here, which is also divided into 2 columns. So, all right, we're going to add columns. Looks like they did it 1/3, 2/3. And you can adjust the column width, so the number of columns, as well as the width here. So like if I click on this one, it'll show you that it's 33. You can adjust that to, like, you know, let's say you want it 20. So you can see it goes smaller over here on the left. But we're going to do 33.3. Cool. All right. So they've got paragraph block of we buy houses anywhere in Roseburg. Again, if I copy that, it'll come up over in all caps, but we don't want to do that. We want to type it out as you normally would. Okay, so this one, we're going to highlight this, do the all uppercase, and they've actually changed the font style to small. So it makes it a little bit smaller, kind of stands out a little bit differently from the rest of the text. Then we'll go to the next column. We're going to add our heading. I'll just copy this one, kind of speed this up. We're ready to give you a fair catch offer. And we've got a standard paragraph. Check out how our process works. Okay, and down here, we're going to add, divides the column into two separate columns. I'm going to make the column block, and I'm going to drag it below here. So then we've got two columns within this single column here. And again, just to speed this up, these are all just standard paragraph blocks for your main content here. So I'm just paste it, and you'll see it looks really narrow there. I can actually get rid of this to kind of give us some more space to work with. Do the same thing here. Just copy this. Again, these are just standard paragraph blocks. Can paste that there. All right. And it does look like they made this part a little bit bigger. So I might make that just a little bit. There's another font size large there. Okay, so I think we've got that one put together. So let's update it and preview it. Again, they did another spacer here to kind of get that additional space. Oh, one other thing here. All right, so headings come with a pre-built margin on top. So one of the settings on headings is to remove the top margin. All right, so then I'm also going to add my spacer. If I can get that to go up. And why can't it get to go? Come on. All right, and I'll get it up there eventually. I'm going to put that up top. We're going to do 50 again. Can I get that spacing back? Okay, so I'm going to update this and just preview it one more time. Looks like we got it. Cool. All right, this is another fun one that is becoming very popular on a lot of pages, is this kind of three-step image process here. All right, so this one is actually not a group block. It's just, there's no background. It's just white background there. So it's just the heading of how it works. Then we have 3 columns, it's evenly spaced, with an image on the top of each of these. So you can type in the word image here, or you can find it in the comment blocks, but it's image. I've actually already uploaded these. Oops. So we've got the contact us. We've got image. Handshake. I'm gonna get paid. And I don't know if you guys are watching this at home, you can also double speed this because of all the extra clicking I'm doing, but that might help speed up the process here for you. Okay, anyway, this is just another paragraph block, step 1. Another paragraph block, step 2, step 3. These are all actually, again, uppercase and small. Uppercase and small. uppercase and small. Then I'm going to press return, and then we've got a heading here. Heading, this is an H3 heading. Contact us. I can actually, forget about this, we can just go ahead and duplicate this, drag it over here. Go ahead and duplicate it again, drag it over here. Get your offer, get paid. Then we have just a standard paragraph. Okay. Let's see here, then one last paragraph block. Okay. So that's how, so it's again, it's just a column. Each column has image, paragraph, heading, paragraph. Then when we update this, it should show up as I have it here. Perfect. The reason we have the extra space over on this one is because I'm using the social icons, which you can turn on or turn off in your design settings. Okay, so let's just do a couple more of these. This one's pretty straightforward as well. Again, anything that has like a solid background like that is going to be a group block. So this group is going to have the black background set at full width. Immediately you can see we have two columns here. The first one starts with the heading. You need to sell your house in Oregon. It was with the white text. I don't want to copy that one because it's going to pull all the capitals over, but even if an agent can't sell your house, we can help. Sometimes selling a house through a real estate, not for everyone. Select that, do uppercase. Okay, then, and as a bonus, that is bold. Okay, then we've got another cool block here. So I'm going to hit add block here. This is a list block. All right. Go ahead and copy this. Then we're going to do the check mark style to get the check marks there. Then we have the next paragraph. Then we have what is called a separator block. Right there, it's a black line, so you need to change the color to white so you can see the white line. And again, one last paragraph block. It is set at italics, and then this is also just a little bit smaller. Then the only thing we have on the right side here is a form. So if you type in form, it'll show up here. What do you have to lose? And then there's one setting here. If I can get it to show up. Yeah, I'm going to vertically align this in the middle. Okay. So when we update this, I'm going to preview it here. We should have the identical content. Yeah, so when you align it vertically, it'll space itself based on how much content is over here so that it doesn't look awkward. And I'm just going to do one last one just because the rest are kind of the same thing over and over. But let's just do this other one. Again, it is a group block with a gray background, full width. It has 2 columns. The left side here is just an image. I already have this one in my media library. I'm going to select that. Then we have a heading. We work differently. Then we have a couple paragraphs here. And then we have a button. So I'm going to put a button down here. Learn about our process. And we're going to link that to how it works. Okay, so then that is all set. There is one last little paragraph area. Okay, and we are going to update and preview that. Okay, so then this last section here, it's just a column, and then you'll notice here, again, the spacing is kind of different. So what they did is they added a spacer. I'm going to keep doing that 50. Seems to be working well for me. I'm going to move it up. Until I get to the top. Let's see if we can get it up here. There we go. And then again, this heading under the advanced, we want to remove the top margin. Okay. So let's go ahead and preview that. We can just go through this again. So we've got your hero section here. We've got some testimonials here that you can set up. Listing versus selling to us, kind of see the difference. Kind of cool way to pull out some highlighted area. Just different formatting options, small text with all caps, different sizes here. This 3-step process is becoming a very popular way to kind of help people visualize how it works when you work with them. Setting up a few columns with some more information, make sure you have your call to action there. Keep it spicy with some images, link out to some different pages, and then again, maybe I'll make that your homework to go figure out how to do this one on your own. But again, we're super excited to be launching this Aspen theme and to be able to use this new editor to quickly create some very kind of interactive pages here with really neat layouts and features. So again, hit us up on support if you have any questions about accomplishing any of these elements, and we should be able to help you get started with that. But I appreciate you watching this, and yeah, excited to see what you guys build with the new editors.